Everyone, Once Bitten here. So we go to Game 3 of Battlecry 2017. My beast herd's facing my favorite Kingdom of Equitaine list I've ever seen. So I've had a small win in Game 1, a big win in Game 2, so I'm actually on Table 2 of this relatively small 30-man GT. And yeah, they published lists ahead of time, and I saw this one, and I had to smile. This is a Kingdom of Equitaine list that's playing like an Empire of Sonstal list, kind of like their playstyle. Um, yeah, so let's see the scenario. We're doing the attacker defender one, and which is why on my right side my Gortach are back as far as they are. They can only be 9 inches up, and we each place a token, and you get scenario objective points by having scoring units near more tokens than the other person has. Well, one token's here in the middle, kind of towards the right, and the other one is off to the left out of this picture. So, this list is built around the concept of peasants. It's basically 4 hordes of 49 peasants each, with a musician and spears. So with spears and hordes and nearby reliquaries, they're fighting in all 5 ranks. So he's got 4 hordes of those, a small bunker of 20 of the same thing, 2 sacred reliquaries, and then 2 trebuchets, and a couple characters to countercharge. I like it. I mean, like I said, I smiled when I saw the list. My only concern about taking it to a tournament is it seems kind of a paper, scissors, rock list. Either people have the tools to deal with it or they don't. And I was actually intrigued to play it. I think I have some tools that might be able to deal with it. I'd rather have some trebuchets on my side, but other than that, I'm okay with it. So the confusing thing about watching this game is going to be that wherever you see those big models, you see a steam tank in the top right, you see some kind of wagon. On the left, you see a giant. Those do not represent reliquaries. Those are just unit fillers. They represent peasants. And what represents reliquaries are literally 6 great swords in the front rank of otherwise halberds or spears. So you really can't see them. In truth, in the game, it was really, really difficult and caused some problems that aren't worth going into. But basically, there's a reliquary in the unit in the top right. It's just he's keeping his reliquaries safe behind his line, so I can't target them in combat. They give buffs to units within 6 inches. So the one in the top right is giving a buff to this unit in the corner, and then his bunker unit, the middle left, has a reliquary in it, and it's buffing the 2 hordes in front of it. I don't know if he played it this way or not, but my understanding is those reliquaries would also benefit the trebuchets if they're within 6 inches of them, allowing them to reroll 1s to wound. So, and in case you don't know, a reliquary, the benefit it gives all peasants within 6 inches is it gives them fight an extra rank, reroll 1s to wound, and they get the blessing, the same that the knights get. And so in which case he took the strength blessing, so he's getting a 5-up ward against most things in my list. And then if the unit they're in is stubborn. So you can see how he's just castled in the corner, and these guys, 2 characters over here, presumably ready to countercharge. I figured my Gortachs were pretty fast, so I put them at the 9-inch mark. They're going to march 14 inches up. There's a Razortusk Chariot. You can see my Minotaurs. The only unit in my army that I don't like this matchup with is my General's unit, just because there's just too many bodies for them to chew through, and I think he wins any kind of war of attrition with them. I don't love my Minotaurs with it, but Minotaurs do shell out so many attacks at Initiative 4 that I think I can take a unit down to where they don't really have many attacks coming back, and then win that grind. Then over here, another Chariot. This Chariot's just going to... I didn't like him on the right. I didn't want him getting in the way. He can't march. He's not going to get there quickly. His job is just to be around to help give things a +1 on the charge range, and then to threaten these characters so they can't just fly around wherever they want. So on the far, far left is the second token. I put that one there. And we go to Beast Herd's turn 1. So not a whole lot to say here. I march up pretty quickly. I'm looking at this. I think my Gortach on the right have a really, really good chance of getting in that horde on the right, and my Chariot has a decent chance of getting in there too. And if I can team up, I think haven't done the math, but in my head, I think he's going to do a couple wounds a turn to Gortach's, and I should be regrowing maybe one a turn. And so I think by the time he gets these guys down to where it's dangerous for me, that unit would be gone. And I think he only does a couple wounds a turn when he's healthy, and after one, maybe two rounds of combat, he won't have many attacks coming at me. So I think at that point, I actually like that matchup. Minotaurs are aiming at that unit in the middle, and then, we just have to see how it goes. All right, we go to Kingdom of Equitaine turn 1. His castled units don't move much. His two characters move around, as you can see. One thing I don't think he thought much about, but his character on the far left, that's his Battle Standard Bearer, my Razortusk Chariot can see him, and I can just go straight ahead and wheel, and it's not that far of a charge. I mean, it's a decent little charge, but it's not that hard. And so I'm thinking that's a good thing for that chariot to do. I have no other real use for him. You can notice my dogs are fleeing. I think he charged them, and if he hit him, his overrun. Tell you what, let's go back a picture. I don't know why those dogs are fleeing. My guess is those dogs are fleeing because he didn't have that long of a charge, and I didn't want him to overrun into my chariot. Although from this angle, it looks like it would be a long charge. Don't know. Memory's fuzzy. I kind of like the dogs being available to redirect his far left unit, but oh well. His chariots land a hit on my Gortach and do 3 wounds. That's a real bummer because remember, I'm thinking he might do 2 wounds a turn, and if he does, my guy's real close to death right off the bat. But I don't know what to do otherwise. I mean, the guy's got to get into combat. I can't hide him. He doesn't do me any good sitting around. So we go to Beast Herd's turn 2, and things are about as good as I could hope. My 2 Gortach and my Razortusk get into his rightmost horde. My Minotaurs hit his middle horde. My Razortusk hits his Battle Standard Bearer. Only 1 unit of Wildhorns come in. If you can look over in the top middle. I couldn't come up behind his lines. And in retrospect, I'm really unhappy with what I did with them there. They're going to shoot at that character. He's got a 1-up rerollable armor save. I'm not going to do anything to the guy. One thing I was thinking was, if the guy ignores him and the other horde charges him, that keeps the other horde from charging my Minotaurs. I don't know. Right now they can see my Minotaurs, and that counter charge would definitely do me in. Overall, I would do it differently if I could. There's this charge. That's a lot of impact hits. That's a lot of it. That's 14 high strength attacks coming out before they get to strike. I'm hoping that is enough. I can tell you, though, that I failed Primal Fury, Primal Instinct on both of these Gortach on a 9. No reroll around. That was a little bit frustrating. I'm thinking here that I'm gonna chop this unit in half, and then he's going to have a few attacks coming back. He'll kill a Minotaur or 2, and I'm going to be set up pretty well. After combat, yeah, I didn't do nearly as many wounds as I thought I would. I think I did maybe 12 wounds. I have D6 plus 1 plus 2D3 high strength impact hits, 14 high strength attacks, 2 Thunderstomp, plus all the attacks from the chariots. And I just didn't do much. I failed Primal Instinct, which really hurt, and he was making ward saves pretty well, which sucked. More importantly, he has my Chariot and my Gortach on the right, both down to a single wound each. The one in the middle is full strength, and I think he's now safe because my opponent has so few attacks now that I don't think he can whittle me down before I get him down. Over here, he made ward saves like I wouldn't believe. Now, again, I don't know. Maybe he made a third of them, and in my mind, he just shouldn't make that many. I still cut his unit drastically, and he did about what I thought he would do to me. So, can't complain about this. It's about what I expected. One thing, my opponent's really dominating me in the magic phase. He's got 3 buffs off, and one thing that really hurts about that is the attribute spell is cold-blooded. So I'm winning combat. He's steadfast. But he's steadfast he's got a Lord level character in that bunker in the back, giving leadership and reroll all around. So subtract 1 because of fear, so he's at 8 rerollable. So he's got a 92% chance of sticking it. With cold-blooded, that 92 shoots up to probably 97, 98%. So that's not ideal. I don't remember what was happening here, but I remember all game long he was just killing me in the magic phase. And over here, yeah, this guy has a 1-up armor save plus the ward save. My Chariot goes in and does 2 wounds to him. I think I needed 3. That was a real bummer. But he didn't do any wounds to me. Hey, I win combat. I've got a charge and 2 wounds. He has a banner. I win by 2. He's at a 6 rerollable, and he sticks it. So that was a bummer. Would have liked to got that guy off the table. And now we go to Kingdom of Equitaine, turn 2. Overall, it looks like this. The only real thing he did, his horde on the left moved up. I honestly don't know why. Because it seems to me that they would maybe pivot or something like that. He just kind of moved straight forward. I don't know what was going on there. His character with the Dragon Lance charges to flank these Minotaurs. That is going to hurt. I think, however, even with that, I still win this combat. Just because his character is going to go first, and he's going to kill at best. Well, at best could be anything, but he's going to kill 1 or 2 Minotaurs. I think if he does 5 wounds, that'll kill 2 Minotaurs. But then I'm going to have 20 attacks, rerolling to hit, strength 5, going against his peasants. I think I still win this. And after combat, yeah, over here, this probably went as well as I could have hoped after seeing the results of the last round of combat. He only did 1 wound each for the Minotaur and the Gortach on the right, and actually he failed to roll a 6, but then he got to re-roll 1s, and one of those came through and killed him. It was very disappointing. He only needed 1 wound on the chariot and snuck that through, and he only did 1 wound on this guy. I mean, like I said, once I hit him and deplete half the unit, he's not doing much. But the problem is he rolled so well in that first round of combat, and/or combined with that trebuchet hit, that my guys were already toast. So my guy's going to win this eventually, I believe. The problem is, I need to roll 6s to keep full strength, because this is just 1 horde. He's got another horde right behind him. But I'd like to get at that thing so I could kill the stupid reliquary. And over here, yeah, his guy kills a couple Minotaurs. His spears kill another one. I do a bunch of wounds to him. I honestly don't remember who won or lost. I think I won. I just did so many wounds. Let's see. I had 1 wound on. So he did 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He probably did 8 or 9 wounds to me. I think I did more than that to him. Whatever. It is that. So we go to, and look at the top right, top middle. His trebuchets targeted my ambushing Wildhorns, did enough wounds to cause a panic, and they ran off the board. So that was just a fail. It was just dumb. Now, had I not panicked, or had he not hit, I was lined up for a beautiful flank charge into that horde. I don't know what he was thinking there, because, yeah. Anyway, his trebuchets hit when they needed to hit, all game long. And big news on my turn 3, this unit comes crashing into his character. And I like this. Now I'm just going to combat res him to death. I'm going to get his character into a fight, probably with my general. So his character's not going to hurt any more Minotaurs. Minotaurs are going to do so much damage to the spears. I think I'm going to win this by a lot, and I do. And it looks like this. So here's what's really disappointing. It's really, really disappointing. One, I didn't catch his character, but he's got Swift Stride. I didn't. That's understandable. Chasing the character, my horde goes into the flank of that horde. My general's unit goes in the flank of that horde on the left. That's great. He can't be steadfast. I'm going to win that by a bunch. And when I'm done, I don't even have to pursue him because he's going to run off the table. I can just reform. But the real bad news is my Minotaurs with Swift Stride failed to hit that unit, the bunker unit, which is huge, because if I hit them, we fight it on his turn, and well, anyway, on his turn, he would have to not kill my Minotaurs, beat him in combat, overrun, and then he hits the flank of my general's unit. But because he charges me, because I failed to run into him, now he gets impact hits and is more likely to break me, and then he gets a flank charge on my general's unit, and that is bad, because now it screws everything up there. So we go to Kingdom of Equitaine turn 3. And it looks like this. I should say too, my other unit of ambushing Wildhorns came on the board last turn, and I put them on the far left near the token. So he charges my Minotaurs, as you can see. He shoots his trebuchets, does enough wounds, cause a panic, and my Wildhorns are off the table. So the big mistake I made here, actually they came on a couple turns ago. I put him on directly on the token, and what I should have done is bring him on behind the house, so his trebuchets couldn't see me, and then wait till turn 6 and then go up and step on the token. If his trebuchets are still alive, they would have 1 turn to shoot at me. As it is now, he has every turn to shoot at me because he has no other good targets. I played my ambushing Wildhorns so stupidly this game. And here, he does 4 wounds to my Gortach. I thought it was a little ridiculous. Yeah, we misplayed. These guys actually broke. We misplayed something which gave him a reroll, and he shouldn't have. They should have broken. Here he charged my Minotaurs. The thing we got wrong was when he charged my Minotaurs, I had 2 Minotaurs left, so he's 5 wide, so that lines up perfectly. And just in the midst of it, he was like, well, I make way with my character. And I'm like, well, that's fine. I mean, I didn't think anything about it. Well, then he does impact hits, which we played wrong because he did strength 3 plus 1 strength for every rank. So it was a super high strength D3 impact hits, and of course he rolls 3 and kills a Minotaur right off the bat. You don't get plus 1 strength for every rank unless everybody in the unit has impact hits. So we played that wrong. But then he's like, after the Minotaur was dead, I pulled him away from his character so that my Minotaur remaining was touching his wizard. And he's like, oh, I forgot to make way with my character. So he pulls the character over to where he's touching my Minotaur, and I didn't think about it. And that by doing that, that gave a reroll to the unit on the right. Overall, in hindsight, a little bit frustrating. Who knows if it would have affected much. It would have been nice to get his damn wizard off the board, though. Anyway, so he overruns and gets a flank charge in my unit. And now, instead of breaking that unit, I do a few wounds to him, but I lose combat, I'm stubborn, and now it's just going to be a grind fest. His character rallies. We go to Beast Herds turn 4. There's really not a whole lot for me to do. I've got nothing on the board that's not in combat, except a unit of hounds that charges the flank of his halberds, of his spearmen on the right. And I've got another unit of dogs just sitting near the token. After combat, he does 1 more wound on a Gortach, kills him, but I win combat. The hounds chase him off the board. Otherwise, we're just grinding out in the top left. His character on the left killed my chariot a long time ago, but he's afraid to get him into combat because he only has 1 wound left, so he's just kind of flying around. And he's bringing his unit that's been hiding in the corner up so he can secure that objective. Trebuchets hit the dogs, cause a panic, they run away. And this is the last picture I actually took. And even though this is only turn 4, basically we just grind it out. And, he just slowly does. My unit's stuck time after time after time. But he just wears down the unit. And so that was the game. Ended up being a crushing loss. Actually, I kind of want to play this game again. So many things I just missed barely. And I think I was fast moving enough and hard hitting enough that I still like my odds of chewing through his units. Playing my Wildhorns as insanely stupidly as I did was very, very frustrating. But oh well. So big loss on game 3, but again, I was at table 2, so I dropped to maybe table 6. I'm still kind of up there. I'm still doing okay. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I truly hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has a variety of functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like or comment on the video, you can favorite it, you can share it, and of course you can subscribe to the channel. And I encourage you to do any or all of those things as a way of interacting between viewer and producer. As always, I appreciate your patronage on the channel and wish you all the best.